She's got me blocked in every which way possible. She does not let me have any contact with her. She doesn't let me have any contact with my daughter. I'm so broke right now. I don't know what to do. I'm about to lose the house I'm living in. I'm about to lose my car.
Your Honor, house has just been foreclosed on.
We don't really take into account expenses to calculate child support.
I have 6 kids total that I take care of. My daughter is 3, just turned 3. She's just got deemed autistic, and I'm doing it. My house did just get foreclosed on because I can't pay for my kids. And like child support's so high, including daycare costs.
Well, so how are you surviving?
My girlfriend.
She's supporting you.
Yep, she's completely supported me for 8.5 years.
Okay, that's great. And one woman that was paying her husband directly, he got mad at her and he wouldn't admit to it. So, you know, you don't make other people responsible.
You guys have taken money out of. How has there not been a payment?
He has a history of being arrested on bench warrants, crying in court and getting released. We're here on June 20th. I adjourned to June 27th. And again to today. Father has denied mother both spring break and Christmas break. There are the denials attached and parenting time order. So Mr. Sala and Ms. Dumont, has there been any resolution or movement on this, or where do we stand? Because I know we have a couple different things going on.
Yeah, at this point, I have not had an opportunity to talk to Katrina and Ms. Dumont, and I just got on this, so we probably need to set up for an evidentiary hearing at this point.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't believe we need an evidentiary hearing. I think this could be resolved quite shortly.
We got to stand up from the podium. I have a court reporter and we can't hear you. Mr. Sala might not be able to hear you.
Your Honor, I don't believe we need an evidentiary hearing with regards to this. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's 2 violations of the custody parenting time. And since then, Ms. Butler has received communication from Mr. Toms that he is now trying to pick up Michael a day early to take him back to Florida for school. So with regards to that, I think it's important to be able to come to some sort of resolution or decision today, because he is now trying to take even more time away from Ms. Butler at this point.
Okay, so we have an order in place. So Mr. Sal, well, I guess I would ask, why did he say he wanted to pick the child up a day early?
I don't believe he said why. He just said my family's coming at this date.
So we have an order in place, and Mr. Sala, I'm sure will explain it to his client that the date is the date. You don't get to pick up early or pick up late. I will say that because Mr. Toms lives in Florida with a minor child, that makeup time is not something I'm going to be able to do this summer anyway, because obviously the child's not going to miss school. But we can, what is there? Let me look back here. Let's see here. She already gets the entire Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring break, as well as any other 1-week breaks during the summer or during the school year. I don't know exactly where we're going to be able to do makeup parenting time, to be honest. But I can set this for a hearing, of course, but Mr. Sala, also the order is in place, so your client needs to understand he doesn't get to not provide parenting time. So Ms. Adams, could I either have the red book or you find an evidentiary hearing date? But Mr. Toms, you understand you don't get to pick up the child a day early?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Thank you. You can talk to your attorney and your attorney can address that. I don't want you to say anything your attorney doesn't want you to say on the record.
And Your Honor, we discussed like the situation with the minor child living in Florida. His schooling starts August 12th. If we could have a little bit of makeup parenting time and the minor child to be returned August 10th, that would provide her with a little bit less than a week, I believe.
Well, he's still got to get the kid ready for school. So I think that's a little, you know, if it was reversed, I'd still want her to have the child, you know, the week before school starts. So we're gonna have to go into.
We have evidentiary hearing on his ex parte motion August 7th at 1:30.
Mr. Sala, you just want me to set this with that?
Yes, we could do that.
Oh, perfect. You guys are great. Thank you. So we'll set this over to August 7 at 1:30. And thank you, Ms. Dumont. All right, so 8/7 at 1:30, and that's going to be via Zoom, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Saller, I assume
Yes.
you'd want Zoom,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Okay, very good, so we'll see you both back on that day, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Toms, give me a call when you get a chance.
Yes, sir.
This is in the matter of Whitney Wyrick versus Kevin Donald Southwell, file number 2010-35643 DP. Mr. Southwell is present in person and represented by Miss Underwood. This is arrearages only. Mr. Southwell has an arrearage of $22,685. Came in on a bench warrant on May 28th. Miss Underwood was present. He was ordered to pay $300 towards child support by that Friday. He was released on a PR bond and supposed to pay $200 a month. He paid the $300 in June. So do you have your $200 for July?
Ma'am, I do not. The reason I don't is because I was actually had to pay another $1,100 for my license to stay out of jail again.
Okay, are you working?
Yes, ma'am.
When can you pay the $200 for June?
I can have it by Friday.
Okay, so I want you to pay the $200 by Friday, but then every month, just make the payment.
Okay.
And then we don't have to keep bringing you back.
Correct.
All right, so you're gonna pay $200 by this Friday. And then my advice to you is try to pay $50 a week, or, make sure, are you employed where they can take it out of your check?
Yes, they were supposed to start doing that, but.
All right, so do we have the information for the income withholding, Ms. Pelham?
Moment, sorry.
Hold on, she's muted, but
Oh.
go ahead.
So
No,
at the
I thought
moment-
you lost your job.
Yes, they have college kids take my place right now until I get sentencing for August 1st. And then because they don't want to go back and forth.
Okay, so you get sentenced to August 1st?
Yes.
Okay,
Downstairs. So then after that, I will be back to work, but I can pay the.
okay. Okay, so make sure you pay, you're kind of gonna be at the beginning of August by the time you make the payment. So if you could make the August payment by the 3rd week of August. Okay,
Absolutely.
so we're gonna set you out to September 23rd.
Okay.
So that means you'll make the August $200 payment, September 1. Stay in contact with Miss Pelham, because if you're making the payment, she can adjourn this or dismiss it, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Southwell.
Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Shorts is represented by Rhonda Underwood. Mr. Shorts is ordered to pay $857 a month in child support. As of today's date, he has an arrearage in the amount of $12,706.88. Last payment he made was $180 on May 29th of 2024. We had adjourned it from back on July 1 to monitor payments. He has not made any payments. He is Miss Underwood, Mr. Shorts has not made any of your payments as requested. Do you need a moment to talk to him?
Yes, please.
All right, so Mr. Shorts, I'm going to open up a breakout room and give you a moment to speak with Miss Underwood.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. George did make a $200 payment yesterday. I don't think that's obviously reflected yet. How did you make that payment, Mr. George?
It was online, ma'am, through the portal.
Mr. George, Your Honor, house has just been foreclosed on. He's got 3 jobs. He's working part-time for a friend, but he's got 3 job interviews. And he also, Your Honor, I believe is trying to get into the front of the court for a review because of significant costs he has for daycare.
Well, we
for
don't-
his autistic daughter. We would ask for some time to get these things done and hopefully get Mr. Shorts full-time employed.
All right, so Mr. Shorts, as long as you made that payment, we're going to adjourn this out to September 9 at 8 a.m. Mr. Shorts, we don't really take into account expenses to calculate child support except for a few, only because, obviously we look at the support of the child, which is more important than a lot of things. So Mr. Shorts, I will set this out to September 9, as I said, at 8 AM, and I expect an August and September payment. All right?
Your Honor, can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
How do I go back? In my divorce decree, it says if anybody is on state assistance, we can have a proper amendment done on child support. I have 6 kids total that I take care of. My daughter is 3, just turned 3. She's just got deemed autistic through the state. And I'm doing it at my house to just get foreclosed on because I can't pay for my kids. And like child support's so high, including daycare costs. I'm trying to do everything I can to stay out of jail with you guys and work.
So
with you
Mr.
guys.
Shorts, I'm not the referee for the front of the court. So you file your petition, the front of the court referee will hear it. And then if there's any objections, it comes up to me. But Mr. Shorts, if there's state assistance, that only raises your child support most of the time because that has to be paid back. It's not free. So if you put a petition in for a review, they will look at those issues, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back at September 9. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
And Miss McNamara is not here. So Mr. Carroll, you have an arrearage of $25,368.65. You're ordered to pay $191 a month on arrears. This case was registered here in May of 2024. A notice was mailed to you to make contact, to make payments on the arrearages, and we've had no contact with you. So is your address still 116 East Main Apartment D in Addison?
Yes.
Okay. Are you employed right now?
No,
Okay.
I'm actually filing for disability right now. I'm in evaluation for it.
Okay. Do you have an attorney?
No,
No. Okay.
can't
Do you-
afford one.
Huh?
I said I can't afford one.
Okay, well, you don't need to afford one. So do you understand that Social Security attorneys, you do not have to pay them? They get paid by the state of Michigan or the government.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
And if you do it yourself, you're gonna get denied.
Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, so you need to go home and Google Social Security attorneys for disability. There's some local ones, whatever, because, yeah, they get paid separately. You don't have to pay them.
Oh, okay.
But they will evaluate your case and determine whether or not you're eligible. So how are you surviving?
My girlfriend.
She's supporting you.
Yep, she's completely supported me for 8.5 years.
Okay, that's great. But if she's completely supporting you, she also needs to help you out. So you are ordered to pay on this arrearage. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And until such time as I have a letter from a doctor saying you cannot work, period.
Okay,
Or that, you have to make some payments on this.
okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know how I'm going to.
You can do yard work, you can mow lawns, or she can pay it for you. I don't know. So you have to make payments on this until you get your disability. And when you get your disability, if you get a lump sum, it's gonna go to this.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so, all right, so your caseworker is Amy Fetzer Wallet. Would she want to talk to him this morning, Miss Pelham?
Yes, have him stop down at the window.
Okay, so I'm gonna order that you have to pay $50 a month toward this,
Okay,
and it has to be paid. So I don't care if you're mowing somebody's lawn, raking leaves, doing whatever, you gotta pay $50 a month on this, all right?
okay,
You can pay it in person, or you can pay it online.
okay.
And then before you leave today, because we're live, I don't want to put any information on the record. I need you to stop down at front of the court, go down to the basement
Okay,
and go to that front window there and check in, and just so they can talk to you real quick.
okay.
You understand?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So I'm going to set this out to September 23rd, just to see where we are and what's going on. Attorneys in Jackson and Lenawee do those. You just need to Google it and find somebody that does it. All right.
okay.
Okay. So we'll see you back on September 23rd. Take the elevator all the way down to the basement and go out to speak to Amy. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. A friend of the court, show cause, says you're supposed to pay $465 a month in child support. As of today's date, you have an arrearage in the amount of $12,505.06. So, Mr. Clack, do you understand once you reach about $9,500, the Attorney General of the state of Michigan can charge you with a 4-year felony for failure to pay child support. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so potentially you're at the point where the Attorney General probably is reviewing this file and potentially could charge you with a felony, which will result you being in jail until you make a 20% payment. You've made one small payment of $100 back in June. And we have PJ Striping as your employer, and we have not received any payments. So you paid $150 direct last week, probably, right?
I've been paying her direct every 2 weeks when I get paid. I don't know if
Okay.
she's reporting it or not.
Nope. So Mr. Clack, you need to understand something. In my experience, people don't always report it or acknowledge the payment. And it doesn't reduce your arrearage. Do you understand that? So if you've been paying her $150 a week or every other week or whatever, we don't have that credit. So you need to pay us so that we have track of it, because she's not reporting it at this point, you know, unless you have a letter. How long have you been doing that?
So I've been hauling asphalt the last few years, and the work was seasonal. So the season started back up in April, and I've been paying her since then. I do have a new job I'm starting soon, which is year-round work. So I should be able to get caught up.
So Mr. Clack, if you've been paying her since April, nobody's reported that. So you're taking a big risk making sure someone else responsible for reporting your payments. So one of two things need to happen. You need to get her to sign a letter saying that those payments were made and provide them to front of the court. And going forward, you need to pay through the front of the court, because if you go to jail, it's going to be your fault, not anybody else's, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got a new job. Where's that at?
It's called Curtis Excavating. It's in Commerce.
Okay, Commerce Township?
Yes.
Okay, in Michigan.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Clack, again, you need to get her and you to write a letter saying that she's received those payments since whatever date, only because you need to get credit for them, because it will reduce the amount you owe. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And then starting now, you need to go online and make those payments.
Okay.
Only because, you know, you're not getting credit for those. And I've seen, like, I had one woman that was paying her husband directly. He got mad at her and he wouldn't admit to it. So, you know, you don't make other people responsible. And Mr. Clack, if you get new employment and they're not taking the money out of your check, until they do, you need to make that payment online until they start taking it out, okay?
Yeah, I saw they weren't taking it out. That's why I kept paying her, but I'll start paying online.
All right, and get a letter from her acknowledging you paid that much every other week or whatever since the beginning of April, all right?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna set this out to September 23rd. And that's only because I want you to get that letter in, okay?
Okay, I will.
And then we'll be back September 23rd and hopefully everything's all set, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. We are here on a case that is arrearages only transferred to us through Nevada. You have an arrearage in the amount of $29,918.05. There's an order that you pay $260 per month on your arrears. The last payment we received was $346.66 back on September 1 of 2021. There's no active charge. As I said, it's arrearages only. So, Mr. Mason, are you currently employed?
No, this case has been dropped already. I don't want to waste your time.
Well, have you brought paperwork in showing me it's been dropped?
No.
So how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, I get it.
So what do you mean it's been dropped?
Have you been in contact with Vegas at all?
All right, so here's the thing, Mr. Mason, this is your responsibility. So if something happened in Vegas, you need to get the paperwork and bring it to our friend of the court.
This paperwork was sent to my ex-wife's house. and I just found out about it on Friday.
Okay, so how are you gonna get a copy of that to provide to us? And what do you mean? She forgave the arrearage?
Yes, it was dropped in 21, maybe 20, I think.
Okay, so you need to get all the documentation and you need to provide it to your caseworker. So I'm gonna adjourn this out to September 23rd at 8 AM. And by then, I want you to have all the paperwork here.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I asked for.
Okay, so September 23rd at 8 AM. All right, we'll see you back on that day. Thank you.
Okay. See you, Judge.
Bye.
Bye.
In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
This hearing was adjourned from April 17th to monitor payments and the defendant's ability to earn income. There's been no contact or payment from the defendant since this hearing. This is an arrears only case with a balance of $29,292.36.
All right, thank you. Mr. Beckner, what would you like to say regarding this matter?
I've had 3 paychecks that you guys have taken money out of. How has there not been a payment?
All right, what are you doing for work right now?
I work at Domino's Pizza. You guys have this on record. As of that's why I got adjourned. You guys have taken 3 payments out of me. So I'd like to know how you guys have not received no money.
All right, Mr. Beckner, we're gonna go at this a little bit more calmly. I'll ask you questions. I'm gonna give you every chance to be heard, but we're gonna get through this and figure it out. In front of the court, is there an income withholding order in place right now?
There wasn't one that was pending. There may have been payments submitted, but it's possible that the employer sent them. So the employer may need to follow up to find out where that money is. If he could possibly provide those copies of those paycheck stubs showing that information.
So do you have those stubs that show that you got paid and money was taken out?
I don't get check stubs, but I'm pretty sure it's on my email.
All right. The beeping didn't get fixed. All right, so you can provide that information.
Contact my boss. I can contact my boss today and see if there's a way that she can get me a copy of a check stub for the 3 payments that you guys did take out, because you guys literally taking out my last 3 checks.
All right, do you know how much has been coming out?
And then I took a month off work because I didn't know the first one was $239 or $189, I do believe. And it was over $180.
All right, so Mr. Beckner broke up quite a bit during that statement, but I do believe he was indicating there was $180 or so that has been taken out. So we will get to the bottom of the whether or not that's happening and where that money's going, because it has not been received yet by the front of the court. I'm going to adjourn this matter to September 11th. And Mr. Beckner, if you could look into that issue also, talk to your employer, and if you have a pay stub or an email that shows it's coming out, please provide that to the your caseworker, and we'll get this all sorted out and see you back here on September 11th. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
In front of the court, what is the status of this?
This hearing was adjourned from April 17th. Support was abated from January 17th, 2020 to November 12th, 2021, as the defendant was incarcerated and to monitor income withholding. Since the hearing, monies are being received from an income withholding. Obligation is $434, and the balance currently is $2,806.83 from previous of $12,448.38 after the adjustments were made from the incarceration time. $271.10 has been received this month, and $406.65 was received in May. Given this information, the friend of the court will request to adjourn to November 13th to continue to monitor the income withholdings.
Thank you. Sir, anything that you'd like to say on this matter?
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit. So she's got me blocked in every which way possible. She does not let me have any contact with her. She doesn't let me have any contact with my daughter. My child support got jacked way up a while back, and I can't afford it. You guys are taking so much from me, and I can't even see or talk to my child. I have other kids at home that I can't even buy them clothes when they need it. I can barely make rent. The quality of life for my children that I have has dramatically dropped. I can't fix my vehicle. I have to get a ride to work from a friend every day. I have to work 60 plus hours every week just to try to make sure I make enough money to be able to pay the child support and to be able to pay my bills. I'm so broke right now. I don't know what to do. I'm about to lose the house I'm living in. I'm about to lose my car. I have no money for my children. I have 3 kids at home and I cannot afford to clothe them. I can't afford to put sneakers on their feet.
All right, so for today's purpose, we're here on the show cause for support. If you have concerns with your amount of support or with your parenting time, those are motions that you would have to file to address those issues. Given that the front of the court has indicated regarding the income withholding and the payments that are coming in, I will adjourn this matter to November 13th to continue to monitor those payments. Any questions, sir?
Yeah, so what do I got to do to, I just got to I got to file paperwork to get this started, you said?
Well, there is packets that you can get from the front of the court that have the forms to file the appropriate, any motions that you think are appropriate.
Is there any way I can get you guys to send me something like that in the mail?
I will leave that to contacting the caseworker. I think they can send that to you, yes.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you. You're all set for today.
You should be paying your child support, not your girlfriend. And I feel sorry for any woman that thinks it's okay to pay your child support off. So shame on you, but you better pay her back.